Hello everyone. Welcome back to Sustainable Living with Shilpa Reddy, powered by Planet Green Farm Natura, where we talk about a close to nature lifestyle. In this Dermiq Nature Tycoon episode, I have with me a National Award Winning designer who nurtured his dream and is relentlessly working to uplift Indian weaves by also taking them to international platforms. Join me in welcoming the very talented Gaurang Shah on my show. Hi Gaurang, welcome to my show.
Thank you.
And I must confess that I've been wanting to have you on my show from many months. And finally you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Pleasure is mine as
Thank
well.
you.
So I want to start by sharing my experience
Okay.
with Indian Emporium.
Right.
We both are from Hyderabad
Yeah.
and I grew up, and when I was growing up, Indian Emporium was like a fantasy world for me. I would never miss an opportunity to come with my mom to find, fabrics, because the colors and textures would entice me. And I remember seeing your brother and father most of the time. So I just wanted to start by asking, how did your family business help you to where you are today? What role did you play in the business then? And when did that shift happen for you to decide and say, I want to become a designer?
So, when I was about 11, 12-year old, after school, I used to go to the shop, Bashir Bagh. My brother also, the same thing, both of us.
Okay.
He is 3 years older than me. And my father was alone in the store. So, after we go to the shop, he will go for lunch to home.
Okay.
So, 4 o'clock, 4 to 8, 4 hours, we work there.
The brothers.
Both the brothers, we work
Okay.
there.
Okay.
We started with basic thing. We used to sell falls, petticoats, and only 2 by 2. Three things we used to sell. We had less staff. Means the space was small. My father was alone, so he started teaching us with arrange the falls, arrange the petticoats,
Okay.
from the basic scratch.
Okay.
12-year-old and 14-year-old, what will they do? They will do start with that only. Slowly, we started learning about colors, textures, how to match. Like if you get a sari with a red shade and the customer wants red 2 by 2, we have about 300 red shades there.
Correct.
So which is the red shade? Perfect. It can be little pinky tone, it can be orangish tone, yellowish red. So you have those so many shades and you have to pick out the right shade.
Right.
So my father had that right knack, that eye for it, and that's what we got it.
Okay.
So from that young age, that 4 hours every day in the store and summer vacation the whole day.
Okay.
And that was the time, I'm talking about 80s, early 80s. That was the time beautiful, the best of hand-woven saris used to come for matching. And that was the time when you don't get blouses with the sari. So every lady has to get the sari to
Correct.
get the blouse.
Yes.
And only 2 by 2 was the only material at that time. Then slowly we started expanding, like now we need to get in some hand-woven fabrics, handloom fabrics, some silk material for blouses, because now people were changing in their taste ki humko 2 by 2 nahi pehna hai, I want to have a silk blouse for a silk sari. So at that time I was about 19, 20. I had finished my college also, inter, and summertime, then I told my father, let me go to Bangalore and get some pure silk material for blouses.
Okay.
And then my brother went to, we were in Dilsukh Nagar to get the Mangalgiri fabric. We came to know that someone sells Mangalgiri fabric. We used to go to one more weaver to get other handloom fabrics from the south. So that's how we started with handloom fabrics. I used to go to Bangalore to get pure silk and cotton silk. So we started expanding little in that small store only. And then in 1998, we had this road widening program. So half of the store was demolished. So from 400 square feet, we went down to 200 SFT.
Okay.
Now, three of us sitting in the 200 SFT space is not enough also. And we were growing also, and we needed to expand.
Correct.
So then the upcoming area was Begumpet.
Right.
So I felt, yes, now we should open in Begumpet now. And I started searching for spaces and found this in the Polarity building, which was 1300 SFT. My father, he said, from 400, why will you go into 1300? What will you do there? But I love the space so much, it pulled me up. And I said, no, we will do something, but I want this space now. Okay. You won't believe the rent we were paying in Bashir Bagh was 300 rupees, and here I started with 30,000 rupees as the rental.
Wow.
And the space also 10 times bigger than that. But yes, okay, so 2 by 2 silk. I started developing fabrics. After opening the store in 1999, I went all over India to develop more fabrics. But I couldn't find anyone who was making only design fabrics as such. So I bought saris from the weavers. I went to Kanchi, Coimbatore, Calcutta, Lucknow, Banaras and all these places. I bought saris from them, started rolling them as running material and started cutting the saris as blouse material.
Oh, okay.
It was super hit. People love the designs and colors. No one imagined ki he's cutting up saris to sell as blouse material. And I had become famous in the weaver circles also ki sir aate hain साड़ी काट के blouse के लिए बेचते हैं. Lots of stores people used to call me, तू ऐसा कैसा कर लेता है? I said it's okay. Then I went back to the weavers. Now I want running material because the pallu used to get wasted and all. So I started giving my color inputs, my design inputs. Ki these are the saris what we get, like Kanjivaram has those particular tones. I want those kind of colors and designs also. So those started coming in. And when they came in, people loved the colors and the design so much that they started buying them as saris.
Oh.
So started cutting saris for blouse material, developed the blouse material, and people started buying those as saris.
Okay.
And some of my customers started pushing me, now you have a big space, you have eye for colors and designs, you should start designing saris and sell.
Okay.
And believe me, when I was 11, 12-year-old and when I started going to the shop, and those saris attracted me. These saris were pulling me. It was like an artist was growing in me. Like you have a whole 6 meters of canvas in front of you and you can design anything you want. And my mother used to wear beautiful saris. So whenever she used to go for shopping, I used to go tag along.
Okay.
So that whole thing about saris was growing in me. Ki, no, I need to do something with saris.
Oh.
So when some of my customers started pushing me, now you should do these saris, you should start designing saris. I said, okay, let me start with few. And I started with, there's a village called, near Salem, there's a village where they weave cotton with silk borders. Temple border saris, they call that. So I started getting those woven, gave my combinations and started. I got hold of a weaver from Upada.
Okay.
And I asked him, I saw some of his saris and I said, ki, this is what is the technique? I didn't know anything about textiles, about the weaving techniques and all. He said, this is called Jamdani weaving technique and we need to draw a graph and that is going to be repeated all over. We don't have any jacquard machine or as such. It is all hand woven, means each and every thread we have to weave it. So he asked me to, he invited me to his village, you come and stay there, you learn the weaving technique. Because if you give any design, it's not that we can do anything you give. There are some restrictions. So I went to Upada, stayed there for a few days, learned the whole A to Z of weaving process.
Okay.
How the graph is drawn, what size they need, how the loom setup is done, how the weaving is happening. Came back to Hyderabad and started giving designs, started drawing and giving to the weaver.
Okay. This was, when was that?
This is
Like
the year 2001 it started.
Okay.
I started giving designs and at that time they were weaving in silk and cotton mix, mercerized cotton, which sticks to the body.
Right.
So this is the time of late 1990s, early this 2000 ka, when the handloom was at its decline. Chiffons, georgettes, embroidery was at its peak. So no one was much buying hand woven saris. So when I saw these silk and cotton mix what they were weaving, I said, no, this is not what I want because they stick to the body, they don't take starch in it and all. So I said, let me change the texture, let's change the colors also, because when people buy, they want a wow factor to the sari.
Correct.
They just don't want any run-of-the-mill kind of thing. And when I gave them the designs, it was totally off than what they used to do. Theirs was very traditional peacock or a parrot motifs and all. And mine was contemporary, like bloom of flowers and all, huge flowers and all those, and bright colors. So we started weaving silk by silk, big bold designs, fun colors and bright colors. And my first piece came out, it was like something like, it was like something which was very unusual.
Never seen before.
Never seen before. For a handloom sari, like you seen print or a embroidery, but never in a handloom.
Right.
And I showed it to one of my customers, and that was my first piece which had come. I had retailed at 18,000 rupees, which was a very big thing in those times. But it was like people loved it a lot. They really appreciated that this is something very unusual, the colors and the designs and the textures. So I was on a high. Immediately started giving more designs, started setting up more looms, and within no time I was having about 120 looms.
Wow.
In Upada. Then one of my customer introduced me to a weaver from Kota in between.
Okay.
कि गौरंग इसको भी काम दे दे, इसको कुछ, he said हमको काम नहीं है, हमारे पास कोई खरीदता नहीं है, I need some direction and all.
Right.
I said okay, let's do. So at that time they used to weave in cotton Kota. I changed them into weaving into tussar and silk.
Oh,
More of a falling fabric, more of a, like when you want to buy an expensive sari, it has to have that little sheen and little brightness to
The
it.
luster.
Luster and all that. So from Kota, then I got a weaver from Banaras.
Okay.
So it was like one by one, I used to take up the sectors, I used to travel, used to learn ki what is their weaving techniques. Then I started Paithani, Kanchipuram, Patan. So one by one, at present, I work in 16 states and 3 countries.
Wonderful.
So I have about more than 800 weavers. I have more than about 3,000 karigars, who craftsmen, who are into embroideries or different surface textures.
Okay.
And I have done almost about 18 shows at Lakme Fashion Week.
So it was a natural transition for you to showcase at
So
the Lakme
slowly.
Fashion Week.
So no, that is also, there's a story behind this now. So it was going good. I was working with all the weavers. I was selling through the Begumpet store. And by 2007, one more space got vacated in the building. So I shifted my saris there.
Okay.
And then I opened a store in Bombay in 2010. And then when I opened the store, at that time these fashion weeks were growing.
Right.
These new young designers had come in, Sabyasachi and all, and who were doing fashion weeks. So that designer tag people wanted.
Okay.
So lots of customer used to come to my Bombay store and ask कि आपके पास designer साड़ी नहीं है क्या? So for them, designer meant embroidery.
Okay.
Because everyone used to show only embroideries on the ramp.
That's right.
No one was showcasing any hand-woven
Handloom.
saris. So 2010, I submitted for the Lakme Fashion Week. This is the jury, this is the submission. I got rejected. 2011 again I submitted. Thrice I submitted totally in all. And then 2012 summer I did my first show there. Finally I got in. So first show was what they used to call as a talent box, a small show, not the main show area.
That's right.
Where I showcased 10 garments. It was a wide collection, Jamdanis from Banaras and Andhra. And we worked really hard over it and did a photo shoot and everything we did. But it was something like Aya and Chale Gaya. No one knew what happened.
Okay.
Because I didn't have any PR, I didn't have a social media. And those were the things which were growing in also.
Yeah.
So after that show, then I thought, now, yes, this is the right time. Now I should have a PR company who handles my PR. And one girl came to me at that time. She studied about social media. I didn't know what it was. And we should do it on Facebook. I will handle your account. And I said, okay, let's try it out.
Okay.
So we started with that. And after the Lakme, I got an offer from Berlin Fashion Week, Sustainable. You come and do a show. They had loved my collection. So they were like, India didn't appreciate, but still I got appreciation from somewhere else. So I did a fashion week at Berlin. That was in July in 2012.
Was it the same show where you showed Khadi?
Yeah, yeah.
With
I have showcased only once.
Right.
So the same extension of Lakme, I had
Okay.
taken it there. So there I showcased 40 garments.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and saris also on the ramp there. And then after that, I did again Lakme in 2012, which was the winter collection in August, where I showcased Kanchivarams in the shades of yellows, oranges, and reds.
Okay.
And that was something like the first time someone has shown a Kanchivaram on the ramp, and those colors.
Right. But is it the same collection where Ardhangi,
Ardhangini,
Kanjivaram
yes.
and Kalamkari mixed
Yes.
together?
So something new in Kalamkari. I had developed Kalamkari like it's known for those muted subtle tones, natural dyes. So I had done the reverse painting of Kalamkari on bright colors.
Wow.
So this was something very unusual, and I got the best designer award also for that show.
That's right.
And then I started flying. That's when that designer tag I got, because I had the show also, Lakme also, plus I had the PR to promote and the social media.
Wow.
So till then I felt that every month I'm paying so much for social media, I don't know what is happening, because I was never into Facebook and all these things. So immediately after that August show, I saw somewhere that in Dubai someone is organizing an exhibition.
Okay.
And I thought that yes, Dubai is a good market and let me try it out there. So I immediately called them and they said, yes, aap aa jaiye and we'll give you a stall. So they must also have seen my show. I didn't know anything about it, because they said, yes, aa jaiye means it was okay.
You were lost in your art.
So I went there, I was ready, I had arranged my stall, I was ready 9 o'clock. I had taken my both the Lakme collection and all. 10 o'clock the doors opened for the exhibition, by 12 o'clock I was sold out.
Wow.
And I asked those women, how do you know about me?
Huh.
They said, we follow you on Facebook.
Oh.
And that is the time I came to know that Facebook is powerful.
The media, the social media, the power of
Facebook,
social media.
I understood the power of it.
Okay.
And they said, we have come to this exhibition only for you.
Okay.
We don't want to go anywhere. What you have done, others I know that they are common, they keep doing it. But yours is so different. We have come only for you here.
Wow,
So
that's
Dubai
amazing.
also, after that 2012 till last year, I must have done about 12 shows there.
Okay.
Consistently every year I have been there, twice or thrice or whatever it was. Every year I have done. It's a very good market, and then about 6 years back I was in Paris for something, and I had got a call from someone in America that we would like to sell your saris and all. We have a store here. So I said, okay, let me try that out also. So I didn't have visa for America. My associate I had sent, and won't believe, in a day we must have got so many orders and sold out everything what we had. And consistently from that time also, I have been, like every 2 months I have been to America, to one city or the other, and we used to do exhibitions and sold very well, set up a whole market. And 2019 I opened my store in New York, and it's been,
Even in London, you have a
so
store,
London
right?
also 2009. So both the things I had started in
Same time.
2019.
That's a beautiful success story.
And this is all the power of social media
Social
which I have
media.
realized.
Do you
Because
think it's
America,
just-
whenever we used to go, we used to just put on our Instagram and Facebook that we are coming there.
That's it.
And we are like sell out by half day.
I think you're just being too humble to say social media is helping you sell
It is
out.
helping a lot.
To an extent for sure, but then see, Indian weaves are magnificent. When I keep looking at them, it fascinates me every single day. It is our history, our identity, our culture, our heritage. What kind of impact did they have on your life, and how do you explain the beauty of Indian weaves?
So generally, there are two people weaving. It's either father and son or husband and wife. They don't talk to each other the whole day. They talk with their hands. They have the telepathy. Both, one will weave from the left and one from the right. Both will come at the center at the same time.
Okay.
And it's like they're talking with their hands the whole day. They're putting their emotions in it, their laughter, joy, story, everything they're putting in it. Sometimes they may be angry with each other. They must have fought. And believe me, when they are angry now, that portion which they have woven that day will be different from when they have woven when they are happy.
Okay.
So that's what handloom is about.
What is the difference that you notice?
When they are angry, they'll hit the loom more, you call them more strongly.
Okay.
I'm angry, what is this, what is happening? And he'll take out his anger on the loom.
Okay.
And the shape of the design also will little go off also. And when he's happy, he will be in his own world and very laughingly and all that, very joyfully he will be weaving. So it is like that sari is speaking to you, that weaver is speaking to you.
Wow.
So
That's
it's that
so much
way.
depth to what you
there is
just
so much.
said.
When you go to the looms now, you will feel, no, I just want to sit here and see. It's like we are meditating.
So tell me, what kind of people are these? Because without any computer support, the precision with which they weave, the kind of count, mathematically they have to be so right, the amount of focus they put into that skill, like I don't know, it always intrigued
So this
me.
has come from generations, but at the same time we have taught newcomers also. I'll tell you about a story about this also. So we have this village in Srikakulam where I do my khadi jamdanis.
Okay.
So I have those weavers. I started working with this one particular weaver in 2004. He came through one of my friend, and he came. He, sir, we weave these simple small khadi, small border, dobby border saris with small booties. If
Okay.
you can help me, you give me designs, I will weave for you.
Okay.
Okay, I said. And at that time, I was doing upadas and kotas. So for upada, the Jamdani technique is that they tie a jala. I have to give a graph, double the size than what the actual design is supposed to be.
Okay.
And they tie a jala which helps in lifting the warp, and they put the tilli. See, Jamdani is basically embroidery on loom, the Parsi embroidery. How you put
Right.
the needle and you take it up,
Right.
it's exactly the same thing. In kota also it's the same thing. You have a jala which helps in lifting the warp and you put the design. Whereas this weaver who had come to me, his weaving was very different. His was the very traditional kind of Jamdani,
Okay.
which started from Bangladesh, and where you give a drawing, they put the drawing paper underneath the warp, they look at it, count the threads and lift it and weave it.
Wow.
Okay. So here it's more of mathematics. Here you have to be precise in how many threads you are lifting.
Correct.
The jala helps in lifting, that's a different thing. Here though you have to count. The thread may be single or
Right.
it can be 10 threads. So in 1 inch we have about 80 threads.
Okay.
So imagine in 50 inches you have 4,000 threads.
Right.
So you have to lift the correct number of threads to get the design.
Oh my God.
So when he came to me, he said, "Hamara paper jamdani hai. So you draw, I'll put it underneath the warp and do it." So I gave a simple design to him. Within 3 to 4 months, he came with the sari. It was something it was jamdani, but very different than what Upada used to do. So in Upada, I have a limitation of giving the Jamdani paper, the drawing paper of 20 inches by 20 inches, which will be repeated all over. But here, after seeing this, and when I spoke to him, what is his, this whole process and all, I could give him a whole 6 meters of paper, the whole length of a sari, where every inch can be a different design, different color thread, and anything it can happen.
Okay.
So there was like, it was limitless now here. So, and he said, "You come to the village, you see how we do it." Immediately I went with him. And it was like a very small village, no roads, just small houses. And he and his brother used to weave in one loom.
Such brilliant weavers in that small
Yes.
village.
So slowly I started developing here now. So it was a different world for me which has opened up. Upada was flying, Kota was doing very good. Now this was a very different kind of design, you can say design sense I can come up with, different texture I can come up with. So in every inch I can give a silk weft, I can do a muga also in the flower, I can do 10 different colors of petals also in the flowers.
Wow.
So all that had opened up for me. So I started giving him designs, he started taking in more weavers and training them to do it.
Okay.
And slowly, that was 2004. And by 2000, my first Lakme we had done, so some of his with these garments from the village. And in 2015, we got about 4 or 5 ladies who used to work in fields or sell vegetables, who had no connection with weaving.
Okay.
And they said, "Ki, your weavers are all flourishing." By that time, this village had become a whole city.
Wow.
Every village had a 2-3 floored house.
Really?
Every house, every weaver had that, and they were very comfortable. Their sons who used to go for jobs to IT sector or different sector had come back, because
is
here
so good.
they got continuous whole year ka work. They used to get proper money. Like for me, I give a design, you weave it and you tell your price what you want for it. I never put a restriction, I will pay you only this much to weave this. So they were getting money, they were getting their work throughout the year, plus they were staying at home in their village with their parents.
Correct.
So the whole generation was back.
And the art is flourishing.
Art is flourishing. Plus I had gotten lots of technology also here
Okay. Okay.
for them to make it more easier and all. So everything was on a golden platter for them. So the generation was back. I was running almost 200 looms there now.
Right.
So this group of women had come and they said, "All your weavers are flourishing, you pay them so much every month and all, but we work in the fields and our husbands don't do much work, or we don't have that income, that constant salary we don't have. If you teach us, we will work for you." And that was the time where I wanted to get in more intricate details in the weave, more intricate designs which I had seen in some museums, for which those traditional weavers were not ready to do. Because their set of Jamdani was different, and this was more of a more intricate Jamdani.
So in one of your interviews, I heard you say that you pushed the Jamdani weavers to do something different. Is this the
Yes.
You
So
did that?
here they were not ready to do.
Ah.
So then I told my master weaver, he called me, ki these women have come and they want to be trained.
Okay.
I am taking them in. So I told them, you teach them directly the intricate Jamdani which I want,
Oh.
which generally is followed in Paitan, Maharashtra.
Okay. Okay.
But they don't do khadi there, so I wanted to do khadi in that kind of Jamdani. So I said, teach them that only, don't teach them that other regular Jamdani which we already have weavers for.
Correct.
So we taught them that, and on my weaver's house only above we set up about 15 looms, and we started teaching them, and within 1 year, fabulous, something very unusual saris started coming in.
From these women who had
From
no
these
experience.
who no experience at all.
Wow.
Looking at these 4 women, I got 40 more women.
Wow, this is such a beautiful story.
They came in, we taught them, all were under training, and those saris came in, which were museum pieces, which I had recreated from different museums.
Okay.
Okay, and at that same time, I started working on a project called recreation of Raja Ravi Varma in weaving. The whole
Okay.
painting was woven.
Wow.
So those also I wanted to do in this Jamdani technique only, and those I have woven about 35 saris till now. Those 35 were woven by these women weavers.
Wow.
So we have a set of weavers which have been traditionally since their ancestors who have been weaving. Plus I have a set of weavers in every village who have never been in their weaver in their life.
But often we hear that weavers are, like losing their art, art is dying down.
No, so
NGOs are doing something to lift them up.
see, forget about the NGOs now. Weaving is dying, art is dying, weavers are committing suicides and all that. I'll give one simple thing here. Why are only my weaving communities, weavers working for me surviving, flourishing, and why not others?
That was my next question.
So, I always believe in change according to the times.
Okay.
Upgrade yourself. So, those weavers who always keep crying कि हमको काम नहीं मिल रहा है, they are not ready to change.
Right.
They want to do what they have been doing over the years, the same designs, the same colors, the same
Right.
textures. Whereas my weavers, today I have a village which is about 3 hours from Hyderabad, where they used to weave only ikat, cotton ikat saris, okay? But I trained them. It's not only my initiative, but their initiative also,
Okay.
that today they can weave a Kanjivaram sari, they can weave a Jamdani sari, they can
Wow.
weave an ikat sari, they can do a fusion of Kanjivaram and ikat together also. And in
Okay.
any yarn I give them.
So there's a lot of scope.
There is a lot of scope everywhere. Lot and lots are there. It's only thing you need to change.
So
And
how
you
can,
need to change because you need to sustain.
Correct. Yes.
If I'm not producing new things every day, new designs every day,
Right.
and if my customer is coming and seeing the repeated things, why will she buy?
Correct. So do you think we need more designers to guide these weavers?
That too I tell every time I give a lecture, a talk at all the colleges, all the design institutes, that we have hundreds and thousands of design institutes all over India.
Correct.
Out of, okay, suppose in this year 1,000 students have come out, you won't believe only 2 will be working in handloom sector, and that 998 are copying only the West.
That's right. So what is the responsibility of every Indian designer towards weaves?
Work with Indian weaves.
At least one collection?
Yes, please. Our textiles are so rich.
Correct.
Like take the case of khadi. Khadi can be dyed, can be embroidered, can be printed, painted, what all not you can do.
And for the tropical climate, that's the apt.
It's the best for your summers or winters.
Correct.
It's the best.
Right. So what can government do? Like so
Why get
designers-
government in?
So for the policies, do they have
Nothing.
to?
No, why do you want? Why do everyone expect that government has to take an initiative?
Okay. So it's
So it's
in
our
hands.
individual, na? Like I know the government, I know the ministry and all, but I don't take any help from them. Why do we
Okay.
need?
Okay.
We are there, we have the designs. You are sure that your design will be working good.
Okay.
You have to be very sure that this is the design which I want to weave. So you need to be very technically alert also that this is what has to be woven.
Right.
The weaver should not take you for a ride, that this cannot be done or this I will do it this way. So what you have thought of, that should come out. So you should be having that full knowledge of that weaving also.
And your physical presence also.
And your physical presence. At the same time, you have to be very good with your marketing also. It's not that just you are creating.
Correct.
You have to be a good seller.
That's true.
See, this is a whole cycle.
Right.
Unless you are selling, you are not going to get your money in to pay the weaver. Na?
Absolutely.
The weavers need to pay every day.
That's true. And, looking at you speak, I feel your internship is extremely valuable. Like if someone comes to be your intern.
But I don't take interns.
But don't you want to build a
See,
set
I have
of
taken
people?
in between, you won't believe, I have taken interns. But they do their internship with us because they have to do it.
Oh, not
They are
out of...
forced to do it.
Okay.
Till today, I have not found even one person coming to me and saying ki I love handlooms and I would love to work with handlooms.
How do we instigate that love
I don't
for...
know. I don't know. I'm lost at that.
Okay.
One institute I had gone to, there were 180 students sitting in the auditorium.
Okay.
I asked them, how many of you would love to work with handloom fabrics and weavers? 2 of them half-heartedly take up their hand.
So they don't even probably know the grandeur and
No,
the painstaking
no.
methods which are involved in our
Today you
culture.
tell me how many are there, how many designers are there who work consistently with handlooms?
I can't even name
3 or 4.
many. Yeah,
3 or 4,
yeah,
that's it.
handful. That's it.
Means consistently over the years they have been doing it.
Right.
There's
Wow.
no one.
How do you get handloom into the mainstream? Like when I ask people to at least change their wardrobe into 40% handloom, they say, oh, high maintenance, expensive.
So that's a wrong notion. See, handloom is not high maintenance also.
Yeah, I want you to speak
Handloom is
about
like
that.
you can machine wash also. Like your Mangalgiri cottons you take or your khadi you take, you can machine wash them also. Like I make outfits and sell.
Right.
And believe me, I have a customer base who, if they, once they start wearing my outfits, they will never go to any other store.
I'm sure.
Because the fabric what I develop is the purest of form.
Correct.
It is little expensive, but then it lasts and lasts and lasts.
That's right.
But that's where I made a mistake also, giving them such a fabric that they don't come back to me now because they say
It
your
lasts.
fabric is not going bad at all. The colors are not going. It's not tearing. It's becoming new with every wash. So I don't want anything now.
Okay.
So it's a plus and minus for me, both the ways. But then that's the beauty of handloom.
That's right. So I want people to know about this because there's a myth in the people's
People
mind.
know about it, but then it's the job of the designers. Like there are lots of designers who work with your crepes and chiffons, but they should work with this also.
That's true.
They should work. Like they come up with 1 or 2 collections and then they again back to their.
Right. So before you showcase your collection at a fashion show, like how long before do you start working on
Oh,
the...
my mind though is working for next 5 years also. What more can I showcase?
Okay.
Like 18 seasons of Lakme Fashion Week and my 19th is coming in this October. So my mind keeps exploring what else can I do. So every morning I reach my office at 8:30.
Oh, wow.
I'm alone there.
Huh.
8:30 to 9:30 I am alone there. On the pad, letter pad, I write down the states. And this is what I have done and what more I can do there.
Okay.
What more change I can get there.
Okay.
So that's my everyday job, ki what more I can create new things. It's not only for Fashion Week, but it's for my customers also.
Right. But how do you take this vision forward if it's just a single person? Do you have somebody
I
who
don't know, like
trains-
after me, I don't know who is going to take my work forward also.
I don't want this to die because the way you
Even
are...
I don't want to, but I know my children are not interested in this.
So no designer you found who
Till
would
today, I
take
have
this-
not found anyone who will say, who has little, like 5% knowledge of also what I have.
Yeah,
See, I have not been to any textile school, any design school also.
self-taught.
It's self-taught.
Completely
It is just my
self-taught.
interest. I have been to the looms and I have picked up everything from there. And some looms, so till today, I have never visited also.
Okay.
It's just that I keep building itself. I don't know what happens with me, but the designs also every day I create, and I have a target of sending 5 new designs to the looms every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Wow. Okay.
So I have a team of about 12 people who sit and just draw.
Okay. So how do we create demand for Indian weaves
So
internationally?
we have demand.
Internationally also?
Internationally, yes, Indians buy because my store in New York and London do very well.
Okay.
I do exhibitions all over the world.
That's right.
I do have private appointments, so I travel for a day to any country you tell me, and I go and show saris there. So demand is there. We need to get in more designers to create more things now.
So the design perspective also has to change.
Yes. See, I have one way of thinking. I have over the years, every year I give more and more intricate designs. So more and more expensive I'm becoming. But that's what I can't stop that now.
Exclusivity also comes with
Exclusivity is
that.
there, and my customers also demand. Like when I get a lady who buys consistently from me every 2 months, suppose.
Okay.
So for her, I need to keep on thinking what better can I give. To give her better things, it's becoming more intricate, more things I'm putting in it, and more expensive it's becoming.
So how can a layman who aspires to own a Gaurang Shah's sari?
No, see, I have a whole range. My
Okay.
sari starts from 3,000 rupees.
Oh really?
Yes. If
Okay.
you come to the store, you will get a beautiful, simple hand-woven cotton for 3,000 rupees.
Okay.
You can go to any number.
So I've only seen your exclusive stuff.
So
I
on the
didn't know.
ramp and all, I have to show only those. See, I
Correct.
can't show these simple cottons and all.
Correct. Okay.
So, but you get everything.
So in your career, have you seen any art completely dying?
No, no. So see, we have different kinds of weave techniques. One is Jamdani, Jacquard, Dobby and all. I follow Jamdani a lot because it gives me a lot of freedom to design.
Okay.
Like I said, every centimeter can be a different design, different
Color.
textures. So in a sari, I may put about 8 to 10 different kinds of yarn also.
Okay.
So this is a very versatile technique which I have taught also to lots of weavers and centers.
Okay.
Then I have, like you can say, I have revived the Gujarat pattern patola also.
Right.
Like when I started working with them in 2012, only about 2-3 weavers were there, and they used to sell with, like there were very few buyers, very few weavers to weave, and it was not marketed. But I showcased that at Lakme Fashion Week in 2014, and after that, though, everyone is doing,
wants a pattern
everyone wants, and every weaver is into that only. Now there are hundreds of weavers doing that.
Correct.
That was Patan Patola. Now I have started working in other countries also. I have started working in Cambodia,
Okay.
in natural dye ikats,
Okay.
Uzbekistan, Thailand, and Indonesia.
Wow.
So I'm exploring a lot in ikats.
Okay.
Because here in Andhra and Gujarat, I have done a lot.
You finished
I
exploring
finished.
that.
Andhra especially, Telangana I have finished specially.
Okay.
Gujarat still I am doing, but now I wanted to do lots of natural dyes. So there I am
Okay.
exploring it.
So do you see any business opportunities for young entrepreneurs in this sector?
Like I said, you need to be very good at designing and business marketing also.
Only
Like I have seen few who are only designing, and they are never into marketing.
Correct.
They have a different team, but you can't have two teams. You have to do yourself everything.
Oh, so one person needs
You
to have
have
both
to
of this.
interact with customers,
Right.
or else how will you know that they are liking it or not,
Correct.
and what they are demanding.
Right.
So you have to be both.
Correct. And your line of work is completely sustainable.
Yes.
What is your idea of sustainability?
For me, it is innovating every day, every minute.
Which is eco-friendly. Nothing.
It is eco-friendly. By natural, it has become eco-friendly.
Yes.
But for two things, I am innovating every day. One is for my customers, and one is for my copycats. As you see, any photo shoot, any show I do, immediately it starts getting copied.
Correct.
So I have to be 10 steps ahead of them.
Okay. Oh, that's beautifully said.
So I have to. So sustainability, innovation for two people.
Okay.
Two different sectors, you can say.
Okay. Why does Gaurang Shah's sarees stand out? What is the USP of your brand?
See, for me, it has been always that wow factor that someone, when it wears the sari and enters a room where there are 100 ladies, all I should go there and say, wow,
Okay.
what design, what colors, what textures.
Right.
And above all of this is the comfort level.
That's absolutely right.
So I am very particular with my viewers about the technical aspects.
And also the quality. I've noticed your quality is very high
That's
quality.
what I'm very. So my saris are all 6 meters in length.
Okay.
Then the blouse comes.
Okay.
My height is 49 inches ready.
Wow.
No weaver does that. No sector does that.
Right.
I set up my loom specially.
Okay.
My yarns have to be the purest of them, the most expensive yarns. My zari has to be the pure gold only.
Okay.
Generally in Kanjivaram, they twist 2 strands of yarn and weave the sari.
Okay.
So when they use 2 strands, it keeps breaking in between. So
Okay.
for it not to break, they put starch.
Okay.
So starch is put at the weaving stage itself.
Okay.
That's why, and my saris are, I use 6 strands and twist them and use them. It
Without
doesn't
starch.
break, so I don't put starch. My sari is little heavy in weight, but falls very beautifully. It's very soft.
Yeah, I've experienced it myself. So.
Whereas the other saris outside, they'll be light, but they'll be stiff and you cannot remove that starch.
That's right.
Because it's at the weaving stage.
Okay.
So that's why my saris become little expensive, because I use so much of silk.
Correct.
People outside use about 2 or 3 gram gold. I use 5 gram gold. They use single strand. I twist 3 strands.
So no wonder you're paying for the quality. Right.
So for me, see, saris are there since ages. The quality what they used to weave in those ages, I want only that to be happening.
Okay.
Like your grandmothers and mothers Kanjivarams, if you see, that sheen,
That's true.
the color depth, you won't get it in the regular silk. You have to
Absolutely.
have that same quality, same yarn,
Right.
and the same zari.
And you dressed up pretty much everyone who has been extremely influential, popular, from different walks of life. Do you have a favorite?
All our favorites, all our favorites. I've dressed up very limited of them,
Okay.
but all have been my favorites, and all those people I have dressed up who look good in my saris.
Okay.
And I need to dress up 2, 3 more, which are my target now.
Can we know who they are?
One is Rekha ji.
Okay.
Rekha ji is there.
Okay.
Jaya Bachchan ji is there.
Okay.
So those are my next targets, I can say.
Targets.
So this is a beautiful story behind this Kiran Kher ji also. So it was the year 2010 and she was shooting in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
So one of my friend has a store in Ahmedabad, a small nice boutique, and some of my saris she had kept for selling there. So Kiran ji, as you know, she loves shopping. After the shoot, she'll go to the shopping and stores and all. So by chance, she was there in that store and she saw these saris and she said, "ये किसका है?" So my friend said, "ये गौरंग का है, हैदराबाद में एक ऐसा है लड़का जो बनाता है. अभी मुझे बात कराओ. I want to talk to him right now."
Immediately.
Immediately she called me. She said, "Kiran Kher ji is here and she would like to talk to you." Where were you so many years? Why I couldn't find you? This is something like what I love and I'm buying all of them and I want to meet you.
Okay.
And believe me, about 6-8 months before only, I had thought, let me do a photo shoot with her and I would take her. And so we got hold of her secretary.
Okay.
But it didn't work out because the amount what they were charging and all that. And she came and immediately within few weeks, I was opening my store in Bombay.
Okay.
So I called her and told her, this is what I am opening, please come. She came for the opening and she stayed there for about 2-3 hours and chatted like we were long lost brother and sister kind of thing.
Wonderful.
So from that day we have this very good relation and Vidya Balan.
She walked for you many times.
She walked for me at least 6-7 times and she wears my saris at India Got Talent also.
Right. And your association with Vidya Balan, I've seen her also.
Yeah, so one
adorning
fine
the
day,
sarees.
just suddenly I got a call from her stylist that Vidya ji would like to wear your sari for some event. I said, "Arey, this is dream come true." Next day morning, I flew to Bombay, showed her my saris and all, and from that day we are like, she walked for me also twice or thrice. Once was in Hyderabad also.
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
She was here for the Crafts Council.
Crafts
right?
Council.
So, Gaurang, what is your vision for Indian weaves?
It has to keep on growing and it will keep on growing till I am there at least.
But you have to pass on the torch to another person.
I'm searching if I get someone who is as passionate and who's ready to learn.
Right.
See, I always tell that these institutes that what you are teaching as textiles is nothing. They don't teach anything about weaving. They teach about more of theory than practical.
That's true.
And for me, a student, someone who is really interested in textiles has to stay in the villages, learn with the weavers from the basic scratch.
Correct.
See, drawing and giving is okay, easy, but is it possible to weave or not?
That's true.
So I don't find anyone, like in between I had got a project, I thought let me do this. Like in Patan we have weavers who do the weaving. We don't have weavers, so we have 2 sets of weavers there, one who does the weaving and one who does the tying. See, tying is a long process.
Okay.
And after tying, then dyeing, it is like, it takes about 6 to 8 months to tie a sari only. And then the
Wow.
weaving is about 20 days job.
Okay.
So we don't have people who tie. So I thought, let me come up with a project where I get in these students, textile design students, they stay in the village and learn the whole process of tying. So then I can start units for them. I didn't get any response.
Not a single.
Not a single one. 1 or 2 I got, but they said, "Ki, we don't want to stay for 2 years in the village. If
Oh,
you
that
teach
is
us in the city where we stay, then it's fine." I said, "That's not possible."
Possible. Yes.
So that's one, we don't get anyone.
Yeah. So Gaurang, you have vast knowledge, about Indian weaves. You have traveled length and breadth of India to probably explore and see everything firsthand. What is the most painstaking, intricate, time-consuming weave that you have come across?
The Paithani Jamdani.
Okay.
And over that I have done something very different in this also, very limited pieces. So I have a weaver in Orissa who does the very fine ikat,
Okay.
the single ikat of Orissa. And he knows the Jamdani technique of Paithan also.
Okay.
So we have made a sari where it's the Paithani and with the Orissa ikat in the body.
Wow.
So both are like extremes, different route totally. Both are the most intricate kind of, like Orissa ikat is, Patan is nothing, Telangana is nothing in front of them. They are very fine single thread ikats.
Okay.
They are both extremes and have fused both together.
Wow.
Each sari takes about 4.5 to 5 years to weave.
Okay.
Till now I have got only 2 saris and my third is coming in next 2 months.
Wonderful.
So that is one. Then I have 3 weavers in Paithan. They are ladies and they are in the age group of between 70 and 80.
Wow.
And the saris what they weave, the designs are so intricate and so minute that I know that only they can do and no one else can do that.
Wow.
And they also take about 4.5 years for each sari.
4.5 years.
Years.
Oh my
years.
God, I never heard this before.
Yes.
And tell me, did you find any other country on the planet who
No.
does this kind of work?
India is the only country, every few kilometers, you will get to taste, smell, see, feel, every few kilometers, a different kind of,
India is like a world of its own.
yes. The textiles what we have, no one has that.
That's right. And I think the younger generation must appreciate.
They should
and
appreciate, they should
acknowledge-
work on it.
Yes.
There is so much to explore. Like today you get 1,000 students to start working with handlooms and each one will come out with different thing. Means there is so much of variety here.
Correct. Can you speak a little bit about Khadi, a canvas campaign?
So this is a beautiful project which my very good friend from Hospital Lavina Baldota and me had worked on, where we recreated Raja Ravi Varma's paintings in the pallu of the sari.
Okay.
So these were all Jamdani hand woven on 150 count khadi using natural dyes.
All natural.
All natural dyes. So we selected about 54 paintings of Ravi Varma, which were not common kind of paintings.
Okay.
And there are 3 themes in this. One is the women of Ravi Varma, the gods, and the godly stories, like the scene from Mahabharat
Okay.
or Ram Sita Swayamvar. And for this, I had to create 600 shades of colors.
600 in one sari?
No. So for
then-
each sari, there were about 30 to 40 colors
Okay.
which we needed to create. From the skin tones of creams
Okay.
to the natural greens
Right.
to pinks and peaches, yellows and reds. So in natural dye, we can create about 5 to 6 colors. To get this variation was a very difficult job.
Wow.
So this project started in 2015 and we showcased in 2019 on 2nd October, Gandhi
Gandhi
Jayanti.
Okay.
So this was an ode to Gandhi ji.
Okay.
So Ravi Varma passed away on 2nd October.
Oh, I didn't
So
know
it's
this.
a connection.
Okay.
So, and we had showcased at the NGMA Bombay. And it was like a dream come true project. Like it's an art on textiles.
That's right.
Like you are an artist, you paint. If you don't like a color, you can again take the brush and repaint it. But here, whereas in the weaving, once the Jamdani, the design is put, I can't remove it.
Wow.
And these are being woven, these were woven by those women weavers who we trained, who are never from the weaver community.
Right. Wow.
So we have, I can say with this thing that 99% of the painting is exact replica.
And that with all natural dyes.
All natural dyes. So Ravi Varma, we came to know, was used to paint with natural dyes only. So his colors were also natural.
Okay. Okay.
But we have got the same intensity of his painting, the same facial expressions, the same folds of the clothing of the the person in the painting.
Right.
Like one painting what we have recreated is a scene from Mahabharata where Krishna comes to meet the elders not to go for war. So you have Dhritarashtra and all of them sitting. So there are 27 persons standing in that painting.
Wow.
So each one has their own expression.
That's right.
And that exactly the same thing we have recreated in this.
So finally, I want you to say some words to the youth, young entrepreneurs, about what we have in our country and how we can propel and take it forward.
What we have, no one has. So appreciate that and take it forward,
Or else it will die.
or else it will die. Be sure of your designs. At the same time, be a very good marketing person.
Right.
I to feel all these big designers what we have, the big names what we have, they are more of 80% marketing and 20% designing. That's what we are, I believe in.
Okay.
See, unless you are a good marketing person, what are you
cannot
going to do about that?
Sell. That's right.
And Lakme Fashion Week has taken me where I am now.
Absolutely. It's a great
It's a great platform. The way they advertise, the way they promote.
And it's so nice that we have a National Handloom Day and
Yes,
they
we
have
have a Handloom Day also.
in Lakme Fashion
Lakme
Week
Fashion.
also. So
Yes.
there is encouragement. It's just that
There
we need
is,
more
but we
people.
need more and more designers coming in who consistently work.
Right. That's right.
And we have so much to offer to the world.
So this is so fascinating. I thought I knew a little about the weaves, but the intricacies, the painstaking methods that the weavers go through, I think no artist on the planet,
No.
does
They are
this.
the real artists. They are the real craftsperson.
Who don't even sign their name on
No.
a sari.
No,
So they
no,
have to be celebrated.
If you see them, you will say, "ये क्या करते होंगे?" What will they know?
Even if you probably, learn something at school or do your PhDs in textiles, you will never become
You will
that
never become like that.
artist who is
Like
putting
it was
his
a
heart.
great moment for me when these 40 ladies came to me who had no knowledge of weaving, and we pay them a monthly salary, and they are so happy,
Willing to learn.
willing to learn,
Right.
and the saris what they have woven were outstanding, and they still continue.
Wonderful. So this is very encouraging, to
Yeah.
speak with you
If
and know
people
more
are
about.
ready to work, it's
Correct.
just that they need work.
Yes. Thank
And
you.
we need these youngsters to encourage them.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
taking
Thank you
out
very much.
time
Thank
and coming
you.
on my show, Gaurang.
Thank you.
Before we leave, we have a small healthy hamper that we put
Okay,
together
thank
from
you.
Nourish You. After this conversation with Gaurang, my love for Indian weaves have grown tenfolds. This has been a thought-provoking conversation with Gaurang. Wish we start supporting our native weaves. Hope you enjoyed watching this episode. Please do subscribe to my channel. See you all next week. Signing off, Shilpa Reddy.